Unmute.
There we go.
Hey.
Cool.
We're live.
We're
Actually
live. We're now live.
Sweet.
So I'm here with we got Mikey here.
I'm back.
And we have a very special guest for those for those who watch YouTube. We have Koefficient. How's it going, man?
Guys? I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for bringing me down here and letting me go over here and meeting you guys and get and talk about one of my favorite games, about to be favorite games. So.
Cool. Yeah, I actually watched some of your videos. I like to know, what the community thinks about the upcoming Arc Systems games and stuff. So it's really good to have you.
Thank you.
Representing the community. So thanks for taking your time to come down. I know you just landed here this morning. So.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're only like.
It's only an hour away.
It's not too far. Yeah. So
and then the airport's like all across the street practically.
It's right there. So. So we're in LA. He came from Salt Lake City. So thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
And we're gonna be. He has a couple of questions for us in terms of BlazBlue cross tag battle. So we'll get to those in a bit. But yeah, we're gonna be talking to Koefficient here, talking about how he started on YouTube and like why anime fighters, and why is BlazBlue cross tag battle going to be his favorite game.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so we'll find that out very soon.
I'm very ready.
And then we're gonna go one-on-one. So
oh snap.
Yeah. So this is gonna be fun. I've had a couple of pros here, but it was all just very They played a lot of Guilty Gear or really in the Street Fighter or whatever. He's like the BlazBlue guy. So then
kind of in a way, but yes, I'm excited.
Yeah. So. And then we're gonna be giving away some codes for Gotcha Racing 2 for the Switch. So stay tuned at the end of the stream. We'll be giving out some codes away. And yeah, so first of all, for those who heard last week, we've finally showed off the BlazBlue Collector's Edition. We got the physical.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Yeah, and you showed everybody these acrylic standees.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
if you remember last week, they had a nice little layer of film on them, but Gail took all of them off. So there you have it. You want to cut to the desk cam?
Yeah, how's it?
There you go.
There you go. But yeah.
So there's your close up. You get all the acrylic standees, obviously. So you got some under night representation.
Yeah, you got Hyde right there.
Yeah.
You got, and I think these are these are scaled by actual height. So it looks like
the character.
Narukami is taller than. I don't know if this is confirmed. I don't know if it
He's
looks like
man.
it is. Yeah. Or I don't know. Maybe Ragna is the tallest one because he's kind of slouching.
He's kind of slouched a little bit.
Yeah.
But these are definitely cool. I mean.
These stands are great. I'm definitely going to be putting them up for my collectors.
For your
my
YouTube channel.
My little shelf that I have, dedicated to collector's edition stuff. Like I have all the ones for BlazBlue and such. So this is going to be a great collector.
Oh yeah, added to the collection.
That's right.
So again, you get the steel game case. Very cool. I don't know if I mentioned on the stream last time, but each respective artist from the property. So Mori actually drew this Ragna. Hold on, back it up.
Got it.
There you go.
Hold that up for me.
Yeah.
The camera. Thank you. So Mori drew that Atlas, and Ein Lee drew that Ruby from Rooster Teeth and French Bread. So it's kind of the styles are a little different, but I think it's really cool. Get a lot of representation from all the artists.
Yeah, I noticed that there were different character designs, and I was wondering what was that. Now that that's really cool. So we had
there's 4 different artists
from each representative company.
I love the rework portraits, by the way. They are so great. All the artwork in this game is just fantastic, in my opinion.
Yeah. So if you think the styles look different, it's not a bug. It's working as intended.
Yeah.
And this only comes on the steel game case, by the way.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
cool. And for those this is the Switch game case. It's the same. It's just a little smaller. It's a smaller brother or sister. Yeah, this little sibling right there. So that's Switch, and that's the PS4 case.
Yep. And as you know, you get the OST with 50 tracks from the game.
50 tracks.
15.
Oh, 15.
Yeah, so it's not the
right.
entire library, but it's like a selection from it.
Okay, cool.
And the art book, a lot of behind the scenes, especially the development of all the Rooster Teeth characters, which are I think it's their game debut, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Actually, they might have like a little mini game.
I think
it's their
fighting game.
Yeah,
debut.
first
Exactly,
they have like
debut.
a beat 'em up game. I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's their fighting game debut, so that's really cool.
Exactly. And just so you know, you do get the standard edition game sleeve as well.
Oh yeah, it's reversible too.
Exactly, it's reversible. So you get to pop the disc out and put it into your steel game case if you want, or if you just make it look like you have 2 copies of the game.
Oh yeah.
So your friends are impressed.
The illusion.
Exactly. The illusion is real, man. So there you have it. That's a recap of our collector's edition.
Oh yeah, and also if you pre-order the game, you also get a mini disc as well.
That's true.
So you get a mini disc soundtrack.
You guys remember those single mini discs?
I
Don't try to put that into your PlayStation or your Xbox.
It'll be lost.
it'll be lost.
Eat it up.
Who knows what'll happen to your PlayStation?
Is it like a GameCube disc or something? Or
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like
a-
exactly.
All right,
exactly.
all right.
So you need the trays that actually come out
The actual
to be
trays.
able to exactly listen to that.
Yeah, or else it'll fall into the shadow realm.
Yeah, I know the crevice of
As with your PlayStation, it'll never return.
And what I noticed the last week since we announced it, the last episode, was that GameStop has BlazBlue cross tag now, and there's a lot of people on Twitter tweeting out like, you know, they're coming up with like combos already. Some people are posting up pictures, some people are posting up videos, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
A lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, so if you have a GameStop nearby, like, you know, stop by, and hopefully you'll have a demo copy there. If not, it'll be rolling in soon, and I believe they'll be available to play till July.
Yes, that is correct. So, just so you know, it's the PlayStation demo. So make sure your GameStop has a PlayStation, a Sony kiosk, because that's where they're rolling it out. And I think it's kind of rolling out in stages. So someone from Sony actually has to go to the GameStop and update the PlayStation.
Got it.
If it's not your GameStop yet, don't be too surprised or shocked yet. You know, remain hopeful.
Yeah, they've been rolling out this week, but you should get them soon. So, but yeah, if you guys are playing the game, if you have videos or pictures of you playing it, like, tweet us out. You know, we're happy to see you guys be playing our little baby. And tomorrow, tune into Arc Nama, Arc System Works Japanese stream. They'll be having some cool announcements.
Some big news.
Dropping
some big news.
So stay tuned for that tomorrow. What time would it be?
Around this time it's 4 a.m.
4 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, Pacific. 4 a.m. Pacific. I stay up for all of those streams. So
nice.
Yeah,
cool.
no, I think it's 8 p.m. Japan time, which translates to 4 a.m. Pacific. So it's like 7 a.m. if you're on the East Coast.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, let's who are you, Koefficient? You know,
who am I?
Yeah,
who is this guy sitting in this
handsome bearded fella sitting to my left? So first question I have, do you play fighting games?
I definitely play fighting games. You could say that's like one of my favorite genres of video games right now. I like all sorts of video games, but like fighting games, once I started picking up fighting games, I really loved how in-depth fighting games are. So I started picking them up, and I love them ever since. I've been playing all sorts of fighting games ever since.
Nice. And like, what game did you start out with? I know you play like Anime Fighters now, but I'm sure you start out somewhere maybe. Like
so I started off first off, of course, like I played Smash Brothers when I was a kid. You could say that's my first fighting game, but my first real fighting game into the actual community is Street Fighter 4. I played a lot of Street Fighter 4 because my cousin came back from college and said, "Here, I have this game. Let me beat you with my Blanca," and he did. So I didn't like that. So I went over there. I played Eat Honda. I got myself a fight stick. That's where I got my very first fight stick, and it had a turbo button, which means that I could do hands with Honda anytime I want. And from then on, I was the king. Ever since then, I kind of kept going. I played some Marvel. That's when Marvel also came out, Marvel 3, the vanilla version. And then after that, I played a lot of Mortal Kombat, and then some Injustice. And then after that, I kind of take a break from the actual like mainstream fighting games, and I said, all right, which way am I going to branch out? KOF 13 or BlazBlue? I said, okay, let's go with BlazBlue. And ever since then, it was a match made in heaven. I've loved that game ever since. And back in the vanilla Chrono Phantasma days, and when the NA version was coming out. So ever since then, I fell in love with this little girl named Noelle, and she was amazing. So ever since then, I've been loving it.
So Noelle's the waifu for you.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we got a Noelle figure on display.
I saw that. I saw it, and I try not to, pay too much attention.
You can hold on to this while
She's beautiful. I love her. See, we need to get one of these with Noelle.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's been said. It's been prophesized.
That would be sweet.
We'll see it.
But ever since then, I've been playing. So when Central Fiction first came out, that's when I kind of really got my name out there because I started to really cover the BlazBlue franchise to great detail. So, and ever since then BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle came out, and I'm like, wow. 4 franchises in one game, it's a dream come true. So ever since then, I've been riding a hype train. That's for sure.
Is there any specific reason, like what got you into like Anime Fighter? Like what BlazBlue? Did you play Guilty Gear 2 or like?
I never played Guilty Gear. Okay. I played Guilty Gear once when I was first getting into BlazBlue, and it's like, you never played Guilty Gear? My friends over in Utah, they're like, you never played Guilty Gear? Come over here. They showed me Johnny, and they showed in Accent Core before Exarch Sign came out, and they're like, all right, this game is kind of cool, but let's get back to the real deal here. Okay. So, I tried those. I never played Melty Blood, none of those old school anime fighting games, and ever since then, what really caught me into anime fighting games is the freedom that you have in movement. I love really. Like rush down heavy.
Anime fighters are like known for like very quick like mobility and quick animations and stuff.
Yep, exactly. So. And I don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the slow spacing and the footsie and the neutral type games like Street Fighter and stuff. But I love the crazy stuff that can happen in anime fighting games. That's what kind of got me stuck into it. So
cool. And do you compete at all?
I do. Okay.
I see you have an Evolution shirt here.
Yeah, I do go to Evo, and I'm starting to trying to travel more.
Okay.
And by going to possibly Combo Breaker and Evo this year for sure, because it's a good event. And I do compete quite a bit. I do have a scene over where I am at, so there's a lot of players that play Dragon Ball Fighters, of course, and Street Fighter over in Utah. So we're trying to get a scene started out there for BlazBlue and for BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle as well for whoever's interested out there. So I'm very excited to try and build it up. So if you guys are interested, man, come to Utah.
All right, anyways, cool. Shout out to Utah. So what started you with you like doing YouTube videos on BlazBlue, and because I noticed you got a lot of views with BlazBlue Cross Tag. You're talking about like analysis on like trailers and like, so which started with YouTube?
With YouTube, I first started off with YouTube way back in the day. I saw a couple YouTubers do it. I'm like, all right, let's start our own Let's Play channel. You know, measly little boy, wanting to play Kingdom Hearts and get views and stuff. And ever since then, I started to kind of mission mash some fighting games in there. And once I finally started to play some BlazBlue, I never found, or I didn't find any people that would do content on BlazBlue. Like, I didn't find anything out there. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do it myself, and hopefully I can kind of record now, and then later down in the future when I potentially get better, I can kind of look back. It's like, all right, that was me back then, and I'm like decent now, So it's kind of cool to see like what I was back in the day when I first started BlazBlue completely, and then to where I am right now. It's really cool. That's why I kind of do YouTube, and to see some progression. So yeah, ever since then, did a lot of BlazBlue stuff, tutorials, guides, analysis, reactions, of course, all sorts of stuff, and it's been really fun. It's been a crazy ride, and my supporters are excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent. I really liked it.
And so before we get into your questions, what are your like early thoughts on Cross Tag? Like I know you went to Anime Ascension and you played the game. What are your really early thoughts on the game?
So when I first, before I started, I went to an Anime Ascension, and I have mostly footage I saw on YouTube. I was, a little bit concerned because of the simplified mechanics, because as we all know, Arc System tends to have games that are very complex, very execution heavy and everything. So it's like, okay, are we taking away some freedom and stuff? But once I actually played the game, my eases were down because it felt so great. It felt great. It really promotes a lot of, how do I say this? You can really characterize yourself with your playstyle in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, which is not easy to do in certain fighting games, especially fighting games that are around right now. So I like the whole aspect. I don't know, I think I heard it here, but I like the whole aspect of if you take away the execution, you take away the the first step, all right, and you just go straight into, all right, I have tools, I have you know, I have all sorts of tools, and I can just go into the you and me are fighting, and I don't have to worry about execution. I don't have to worry about that stuff. That's when I kind of started to open my eyes. That's the galaxy brain, you know. And
the meme.
Yeah, the meme. Yeah, exactly. So once I started figuring that stuff out, I really started loving the game, like much more. I'm definitely on the hype train. So.
That's cool. No, I mean, that's usually an issue for me. And I used to work at Axis, and I played vanilla Calamity Trigger.
Wow.
Like, way back in the day.
Wow.
And I would, like, practice the combos so much.
Yeah.
And when Continuum Shift came out, like, most of that was useless. I mean,
Yeah.
the motion carried over, but all the combos, the timing, and I was like, oh, I can't relearn this, man. My fingers are going to be so mad at me.
Exactly.
So
Oh, yeah.
the execution was always an issue. Like, the most frustrating thing for me was when I know I want to do a Dragon Punch, and I couldn't get it out fast enough, or I'll throw a Fireball instead, and it's just, you know, I knew what you were going to do. I had you, but it was the execution, not the mind game.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised at how many people actually say that. It's like, my fireball didn't come out. You shouldn't have won that. Like, oh, no, you don't have an excuse anymore.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I love that aspect.
And a lot of people were very concerned with, like, you know, Dragon Ball FighterZ was like a very simplified, you know, button mechanic and stuff. But like, you look at all these videos, there's a lot of depth in it.
Oh,
so,
man.
you know, people are really looking forward to cross tag once people get their hands on it to like really messing around and stuff. So that's pretty exciting. Random question. If you could pick any character, I'm just curious, like, who would you want in the game?
Ooh,
any
that's
character.
a good question. There's so many like crazy, like any character.
You can pick one. Just one.
Just one character.
Any franchise?
Any franchise. That's just
any
any
franchise.
dang.
That's not including these 4 franchises.
Yeah.
All right. I recently got into the Fate series. I love the Fate series right now. I just we're talking about a couple months ago, and I've taken a really great liking to a character named Mordred. Mordred is like King Arthur's son.
Okay.
It's but in the Fate universe, she's a woman, or he's a woman, and she's like this electrifying like bad A type character, and she has the sword, and she's super sick. I would love to see like any type of Fate character, but if they were gonna do something like that, probably Mordred would be. Mordred, yeah.
Would you have a character you want to?
Dang, a character I'd want to see. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, spot now. Huh? See how it feels.
I mean, I cosplayed that Jin once upon a time, and he's already in the game. Let me think. Like, let's circle back to that one.
Okay.
Let's
Who
circle
do you
back
want
to
to
that
see?
one.
Actually?
I recently finished like a couple months ago Nier Automata.
Oh,
so like
nice.
having 2B
Oh my
would
gosh.
be pretty awesome. You know,
a sprite version of 2B.
that would be pretty cool. Yeah, like 2B I think would be great. But yeah, you know, just dreams.
Yeah, it's just all
but hey,
dreams.
they got all one day
Yeah.
will come true. We never know. Who
Yeah.
knew that we'd
always
get this
dream.
game, right?
Right.
I know,
So,
right? I mean,
yeah.
if Noctis can be in Tekken, I mean, the sky's the limit at this point, you know? So,
Yeah, but I don't know. Let's you have questions from the community.
Yeah.
A lot of things that community wants to know. So
yeah, there's a couple questions of my followers, of course. There was a lot of them, so we kind of had to kind of shorten down on some of them. So, for sure,
Okay.
I can ask you guys some questions from my community, of course. I was wondering, and I think a lot of people are wondering as well. A lot of people have, like, PS3 controllers and stuff, or PS3 fight sticks. Will there be any legacy support for the game at all?
At this time, there are no plans at the moment, but I know there are some like patches and fixes out there that I know Lab Zero developed one. You guys who made Skullgirls, so we'll definitely look into getting something going in the future. But at this moment, I don't think there's going to be any legacy.
So down
support.
the line. Oh yeah, that sounds awesome.
We'll keep an open mind to that.
Yeah, for sure. Another one, you know, a lot of people are like freaking out that the GameStops aren't having, you know, BB tag on their. You kind of disclose that later down the line. But do you know, like, at what time are they gonna stop doing that? Like, I don't think it's gonna be forever, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to go until about July. That's the current arrangement that we have. So
I see. Okay, perfect. Another thing as well is I think a lot of the community and myself as well are. We love playing online because there's not too many events going on for these type of games, which we're planning to change, of course. But the net play, the net code and stuff. Will the game have any sort of? Do you guys know if it's going to be similar to previous BlazBlue titles? If it's going to be something different? What do you guys think?
So, as far as netcode is concerned, I know Arc has been looking into like a variety of solutions, and they actually were able to get their hands on GGPO when they're working with Skullgirls because they publish it in Japan. But all things considered, it's going to be largely based off of previous BlazBlue netcode, and there's always going to be improvements to it, to the development. So it'll be largely based on the previous existing BB netcode.
Perfect. Awesome. That's all. Yeah, exactly. A lot of us were kind of not concerned, but like very, we wanted to know what it was. So, another thing, are they gonna? By the way, just are they gonna touch up on the intros / outros? I know that there's like a few pauses in between.
You got a problem with the intros and outros, man?
No.
What?
People love the intros and the outros.
What?
No, don't. Oh, I love the intros. They're so
What's chat
awesome.
saying right now?
Yeah, I know, right? Roast this man.
Right? No, as far as the question is, are you going to like tweak them or what?
Yeah. So like, are you gonna like kind of optimize them, anything like that, or?
So the thing about the intros and outros, I'm gonna go into a little behind the scenes here. I don't know if I can.
Story time.
I don't know if we could really dive too deep, but whenever you make a game, the game has to be like locked 3 to 4 months before it even hits the stores, shelves. Like that's the time it takes to manufacture and ship and everything. So when we were in voice recording, we actually didn't even have access to the animation, so we didn't know what the characters were doing. So we had to read the original Japanese, translate it, like localize it, brush it up in English, and have the actors deliver a few different varieties, but we didn't know what the characters were actually going to be doing. We just hear voices. So if you think that, I mean, and I know too, like it hurts me sometimes when I see the own voices be recorded, because I'm like, oh man, there's like a little pause there, but with the development cycle we had for Cross-Tag, there were just some issues we couldn't revisit in time, given the fact that we recorded a lot of these blind. Like we didn't even know what the
That's
characters
kind of
were doing.
impressive in a way, to be honest.
I mean, in that regard, I think it's pretty cool how well they synced up.
I know, right? It makes sense.
Some of them are like perfect. You know,
Yeah,
but then you know, some of them have the pauses here and there. But I mean. But wow, that's so you just did it. You did it blindly, basically.
Basically, yeah.
That's like I said, that's pretty impressive.
Maybe version 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
Add some a little stuff here and there, but
yeah,
for the time being, what you guys have been seeing demoed at SakuraCon, Anime Ascension, etc., that's the intros right now.
Awesome, and one of the things that I'm super curious about, since this is like Arc System's kind of debut for BlazBlue, for them not having an arcade release or anything like that, it's going to be a console exclusive for sure. Is there going to be like supported, patches and stuff, support coming through after the release?
Definitely, and it's interesting you mentioned the whole arcade thing, because Mori Toshimichi, the sort of grandfather of all things BlazBlue.
Mori.
Yeah, exactly. Papa Mori. He's been advocating this for years, and I think he finally convinced Arc to not do an arcade release, because the issue was that you go to EVO, top 8 is usually dominated by Japanese players. If it's not all Japanese players, it's like 6 out of 8,
That is true.
And was just so frustrated because they get a 6-month head start. So he made it his mission to level the playing field for this year's EVO 2018. So that's why there's no arcade release. And that kind of goes in line with the whole balance patch issue that you mentioned, because he wants to make this game very competitive and he wants to make it a platform. So, hopefully we can keep adding characters to it, but it's going to be a rolling and existing thing. We want to tour it around different tournaments throughout the year.
Yeah.
And give it some support, throw out some sponsorships, stuff like that. So we really want to turn this into a platform. So we'll always be listening to what the community's saying about, oh man, this character feels like this, submit your videos, submit just overpowered combos.
And that's what I like. I like that. It's like, submit everything to us, and we'll see what
we'll try to get to as many as we can. And of course, there's a balance team inside Tokyo, and they're largely working on, this character's combo does this, and we want to have this toolkit for this character, but.
Perfect.
Listening.
Here's another one, and I think this is one of my favorite questions that I received as well. Is definitely so with the previous BlazBlue titles, you were able to switch from Japanese to English, kind of like if you switch to Japanese, everybody's in Japanese. If you
Yeah.
switch to English, everybody's in English. Will there be any options, or do you see anything in the future where you can kind of choose which characters you can leave in Japanese or in English?
Wow, is that a thing?
Hey,
Do people want that?
Yeah, I do. I don't remember which fighting game it was. There was like 2 fighting games where I know Street Fighter was like, I know everyone in Japanese except for like Guile, because it's Guile, right? But,
yeah, Guile, of course.
He was the only one who
can't
spoke
change
English.
Guile.
But yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah, because I always wanted to, I love the Japanese Noel. Japanese Noel is great, but I also love English Ragna. You can't mess with Patrick. You know what I mean?
Don't tell Christina V that. We had her as a guest a few weeks ago.
Oh well, no.
I love her.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love Christina.
Yeah.
I love her work and I love everything like that. But yeah.
Okay, so as the game stands right now, it's a switch for the whole game. It's either all in English or all in Japanese. We might revisit. I mean, if we get enough, let's see what the chat says. But if we get enough feedback, and it seems like a feature people really, really want, we can pitch it to Japan and say, hey, look, can we implement this? How hard is it going to be? And add it on the list of implementations. But at least for the time being, it's a blanket switch. You're either all in English or you're all in Japanese. But I mean, you can do the text and voice. Those are separate. So you don't have to do, you can have Japanese voice and English text.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. And another thing too, as they're like the intros right now, I love the intros, I love the outros. They're so amazing. They're great in this game. Will there be any more outros in the final build of the game, or is this kind of it?
I don't know how much you guys have seen. I know the game's been touring, so by now people have probably broken down every combination of the character.
There's a montage on YouTube where I think someone was at, I don't know if it was Anime Ascension or like just some convention where people just played and just recorded every single intro. That they're finding out different combinations of characters to see if they had something unique, or those cool animations or whatever. And there's several montages online right now.
I know that there's some really attentive people, and they do like the NOBC footage and the Anime Ascension footage, and they keep their eye out. It's like, oh, they're like hawks, man. They know every single one.
Looking for those intros, huh?
Yeah, and it's
that's crazy.
It's one thing to get the intros because that's the beginning of the match, but then there's specific outros too, where you have to win the match and you have to
win it with like a super.
Yeah, you have to win it with a double super or like and sometimes the double supers it won't trigger the outro because they have to both be on screen, or you have to get the final hit. Like I was testing earlier just some stuff, like and I was like, I want to see this outro, but then it never triggered. And the only way it triggers it is if you land the final attack with Lene. It's with Yosuke and Lene. Okay. And so you have to get Yosuke, and then you have to end the final hit with Lene smashing her.
That's so cool.
After like Yosuke's super and then hers, and that's the only way to hit it because I couldn't get it. I remember getting it one time by accident, and then I was like, gosh, that's it. And by the way, it's one of my favorite outros. Like Lene it's so sassy, but
it's pretty sassy.
I love Lene's voice, but it's her English dub is amazing. But and I unlocked it. I'm like, oh man, this is really cool. And I tried doing it again. I'm like this outro won't unlock, and I was trying all these things, and then finally I tested it. It's the last hit, and then I did it again. I'm like, oh, so and some people are recording these outros, and it depends on how you finish your opponent with both characters too. Wow. So people are really getting out of their way to do this, and now that it's in GameStop, I'm sure people are going to be like, what? Oh my god, there's like unique outros? Like, I'm going to be hitting over the scale. They're like, let's figure out what,
There's unique outros, and there's unique sort of result screen messages for certain characters.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if like the current kiosk builds have this results screen. I think they do. Or if they don't, then
they might
save it for the final game.
The best.
But what I can say is I remember when we were in voice recording, we had a long ass list of stuff to record. I think each character they've got between, this is more behind the scenes stuff, 3 to 5 generic intros, outros, no matter who they're matched up with.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if a certain character, like, Ruby Ragna, Ruby's all over Ragna's weapon, there's a unique
the best
intro
that's one of my
for that
too.
one. Yeah, that's a cool little one. There are definitely a lot of Easter eggs out there, so I don't know how much you guys have already discovered, but I know that there are some characters that still aren't out there, like Blake and Yang. So, like, I could throw a little Easter egg in there. If you get all 4 Ruby characters on the screen, there's a little Team Ruby thing that goes on. So
I know what I'm gonna be doing when I get the game.
A little Easter egg for you guys. I mean, I think there are definitely some intros and outros that haven't been revealed yet.
Of course.
So I mean, that'll be we'll put it on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Hashtag hunt for intros.
Hunt for intros.
And
there it is.
Yes.
But, like,
there you
so
go.
Discover New. I was just messing around with just a bunch of characters, and like I just love all the little Easter eggs, and especially if you played like Persona 4 or Persona 4 Arena or like Under Night, like Uniel or whatever, like there's like conversations between some of the characters that kind of like talk about like their respective franchises like storyline too, and like how does this person know about so and so, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what was really crazy though? Trying to match the tonality of all 4 franchises, because I don't know if you guys out there play Persona, but everyone puts the honorifics on names, they pronounce the names with the Japanese pronunciation, like Yosuke, or Narukami as opposed to Narukami. You kind of slur it more in English. So man, when we were recording, we're like, what do we do with this? So it's funny, sometimes you hear one of the Persona characters saying Ragna-san, it's something you don't normally get to hear.
Oh yeah. That's one of my favorite lines.
Right.
So
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, do you have any more questions for us?
No, I think we're good.
Cool.
That should be it.
Wow. Community's happy.
Yeah, well, thank you for answering. At least
I hope we answered a lot of the community's questions.
Yes.
I know you gathered a bunch of your own questions and just some of the questions that you've got. I'm sure you get a lot of comments.
Oh
on
yeah,
your YouTube channel
of course.
about stuff, so.
Oh yeah, I get it, but I'm like, I don't know, guys. I'm just like you guys. I don't know any of these answers.
Yeah.
Well, now he's connected, so if he can't answer your question, it's his fault,
boy.
not ours.
The red dot side. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
The art cops to everybody.
Yeah, the art cops around here.
Exactly. They're getting swatted.
No,
Imagine. That's serious stuff.
By the art cops, I wouldn't mind by the art cops. Any other cops, no.
The art police in these hoppies, right?
Yeah.
Descending in Salt Lake City. Exactly.
Well, cool.
Right.
I think thanks Mikey for answering. Like I didn't know a lot of this information. So I'm pretty sure, like, glad, and also cool that you got to talk about the behind the scenes stuff, a lot of the BTS things.
Yeah, that's always fun to hear.
That's cool. Like Yuji and I, we were basically in a cave for about 3 months straight during the localization period. I don't know. He was cosplaying Venom on episode 2. That's
was
Yuji.
that him?
Yeah, that was Yuji. Yeah,
he's
so
with
like
our team now. He's bilingual. He's part of the localization, and a huge shout out to our editor Chris. He did a huge part in setting the voice for a lot of the characters and helping with casting. So he could take a lot of credit for our Hyde and our Linne, which I know I've seen people talk about him. They like him, and I really like him too. So
yeah, I'm a big fan of Lynn for sure.
Yeah, like I
cool.
really like her voice. Hyde is a very, very like anime protagonist voice. Like I'm just
which
like
is what he is.
Yeah, that's why I heard him. I'm like, wow, he sounded like a straight up shonen protagonist. And
he did.
Intended.
So that's really cool. But yeah, we're you guys really like the voices for the dub trailer. There'll be a couple more coming out, so keep an eye out on some of them. And I think it's time to.
Time?
I think so.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Right.
I'm kind of.
I'm probably gonna get totally destroyed here.
How many rounds did you play in Anime Ascension?
I played.
Okay.
No,
you're gonna get
worried about that.
Destroyed.
Let's not talk about that.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So
all right.
You want to head on over?
Yeah. Let's go do it.
All right.
Cool. We'll see you guys at the cabinet.